The Second Presbyterian Church, built 1809. Denmark Vesey, who started a slave uprising here in 1822, was a member of this church first. Later, Denmark Vesey preached to this church's congregation, Emmanuel AME Church, the oldest black congregation in Charleston, dating back to 1818. Because he was unable to buy his family freedom, he started this plot, a conspiracy, in which 7,000 to 9,000 slaves knew about it from within a 50-mile radius of Charleston. The plot was not successful. After it was discovered that Denmark Vesey used the church to have his meetings, all black churches, including Emmanuel, were closed for 31 years. The Miles Bruton House, built 1765. The spike ironwork was added after the Denmark Vesey slave plot in 1822. Whites were afraid they would be attacked by blacks. Another result of the Denmark Vesey slave uprising was the founding of the Citadel, the Military College of South Carolina, in 1842. Many slaves received their freedom by doing good deeds. Another example of a good deed: the black boatman of St. Philip's Episcopal Church in 1796 won his freedom by putting out the burning shingles from the roof of the original church. Market Street. Many refer to it as the old slave market, but this is not where blacks were auctioned off and sold. When the families of Charles Pinckney and Charles Corsvers Pinckney gave this land to the city, it was stipulated that this area should always remain a city market and that blacks should never be sold here. Slaves were sold at the old exchange until 1852. That year, the city passed an ordinance prohibiting the auctioning of slaves on public streets. This practice was then taken around the corner at 6 Chalmers Street at the old Slave Mart Museum building. Blacks were put on platforms behind the building. Some called them chopping blocks. They were auctioned off, sold, chained, held on the inside until their owners took them away. This is the only Afro-American museum of its kind left today in the United States. Catfish Row. This is where that famous black opera Porgy and Bess was born. DuBose Hayward, a white gentleman who lived down the street, wrote a story about Sammy Smalls. He called him Porgy. George Gershwin of New York read the story, came to Charleston to study the culture of blacks, and came up with the famous opera Porgy and Bess. Secondly, Charlestonians are called Geechees because of the language Gullah. Gullah was a combination of broken English and whatever your native dialect was. Charlestonians are called Geechees because of the culture of the people. An example, the Sweetgrass Basket Makers. This is a 300-year-old craft that originated from Africa and the West Indies. This is the only area in the United States where this type of artwork is performed. Thank you for joining me on this tour. I'm Al Miller, licensed tour guide and president of Sights and Insight Tours. If you would like to join us, please write Sights and Insight Tours,